All the OBI-ANI is a series of circles. Now let's begin the first move. The way I like to do it is I like to have the blade horizontal to me, to my waist. And the way I begin the move is I take my blade and I move it upwards sideways to me in a sideways stabbing motion. Get locked. I'm surrounded by flies. I don't know why. This is getting very hard to film. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Moshe, or the Drip Jedi, and today I got a new tutorial for y'all. So I already know you've probably seen a lot of creators, a lot of people on TikTok, myself, some of my friends, your favorite creators who spin lightsabers do this move right here, the OBI-ANI. You know, that's what we call it in Star Wars from Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan and Anakin was at a standstill and they was doing, you know, that one spinny move. You know, that's what we call the OBI-ANI, Obi-Wan, Anakin Skywalker. Pretty obvious at this point. And, well, I'm going to show you how to do it, because it's really not that hard. The cool thing about the OBI-ANI is, once you learn that, you'll learn everything else later on. Like, the OBI-ANI, along with the basic front spin, back spin that I showed you in my last tutorial, there's also a foundation building block move. You know, if you don't learn anything else, if you just know how to OBI-ANI, that's fine too. But I will show you more stuff later, but let's learn this first. Alright y'all, like I said before, the OBI-ANI is extremely easy. Anyone can do it, everyone I know can do it, and you can too. Alright? And I'm going to show you how I do it in just 3 steps. So, if you haven't watched my last beginner tutorial, I recommend go watch that first, and then come back to this one. It'll make a lot more sense. I'll put it on the screen now. Okay, so, just like last time, we talked about the forward roll, the backwards roll, and then direction. You know, where your arm is when you're doing it. That's the OBI-ANI. But I'm going to show you how to achieve that. So, the way I do it is, first of all, grip your saber by the choke point or the neck. Do not grip it by the middle. Do not grip it by the bottom. We've been over that last tutorial. Just by the neck. Okay? You want to have a good, solid grip, a solid foundation. Get comfortable with your lightsaber. Okay? It's yours, no one else's.
Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it!
So, the way I do the OBI-ANI is, I like to start with my saber pointed down. Let me change the angle real quick. So what I like to do is, I like to start with my blade pointed down, like this. Okay? And what I do is, I do a backwards roll, right? A backwards roll, but sideways. That's where the backwards roll and direction comes in, okay? So even though I'm doing this backwards, it's gonna be pointed this way, but my wrist is going backwards, like that. And what I do is, I'll do a backwards roll, and I'll move my arm behind my leg, like this. So it goes backwards roll, behind the leg, but in one circle. So it looks like this. I'm gonna do it slow, then I'm gonna speed it up. Backwards roll, circle. Okay, do it again. Out in front of you, backwards roll, direction, backwards roll, and then you want to move your arm when you do it. Backwards roll, circle. That's it. Okay? Backwards roll into a circle. Backwards roll into a circle. You want to have your blade pointed down when you get there. Like this. Okay? That's part 1. Alright, now I'm going to teach you the second part. So, blade pointed down, behind the back, a circle. What you're going to do is you're going to take your hand, what I want you to do is take your hand and bring it close to your hip like this. Just for practice, we're learning. You don't have to do this later on when you actually learn how to do it, but for now, I want you to take your hand and place it on your hip like this, right? So when you get to this part, rotate your hand, put it on your hip, and what you're going to do is your knuckles, you're going to draw from here to here on your hip like this. Just trace your hip basically with your knuckles, right? You're gonna do that and pull out. Blade pointing the hip as well. Again, you don't have to do this every time you OBI-ANI. This is just for learning. So So knuckles on the hip, blade on the hip. You're gonna pull out like this. Your elbow should be pointing this way, right? Pull out, almost like you're unsheathing a sword in a way. You're gonna pull out, elbow pointed towards you, elbow up, pull out as high as you can go, and then forward roll. That's it. So all together it goes circle behind the back, blade and knuckles on the hip, pull out, elbow pointed this way, forward roll. That's it. That's the OBI-ANI. And so all together now. Sideways, backwards roll, blade pointed down, rotate your wrist, blade and knuckles on the hip, draw the sword, pull out, forward roll. Boom. And that's how you do the OBI-ANI. That's how I do the OBI-ANI. And if you keep practicing that, I know you probably can't see my head. If you keep practicing that, you speed it up some more. So, sideways, backwards roll, point it down, blade and knuckles on the hip, draw the sword, forward roll, and you do those steps over and over. Boom. That's the OBI-ANI. You see it? And that's how you do it. And then, once you get the OBI-ANI down, here's one more thing I love to teach, is don't stand so stiff. So like, once you learn how to do it, don't just stand there and do like this. Now, I understand everyone spends a lightsaber their own way, and if you stand like this and do it, that's okay too. I just teach my students, but I just teach my students, when they OBI-ANI like you mean it. Bend down just a little, not too much like this, just a little bit. You can take your left hand and put it on your shoulder if you want, or you can just have it hover. And then of course, your right hand, or the other hand you're spinning with, is OBI-ANI, and you're doing it like this. That shows you know what you're doing. That shows you're a force to be reckoned with. This is how I love to spin my saber. Add a few slashes, But if you're standing like this, and that's fine too, I'm not saying that's wrong, but you know, add a little flair to it. Stand like you mean it. OBI-ANI like you mean it. Tag me in your videos when you do it, because I'd love to see it. Anyways, I hope this video helped. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it with your friends. It helps me out a lot, you know. And if you like videos like this, please let me know in the comments. I'll make some more. Any move you want to learn, any move I should break down, leave it in the comments. I'd love to make a video. Also, I wanted to say thank you to all my mutuals, all my followers, everyone who stuck around, sent love, sent likes, you know, leave nice comments, you know, just all that stuff, all that good stuff. Just showed love. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I try to say it more. I don't say it enough, but I do appreciate every one of y'all. Even though I don't have a lot of YouTube followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call it now, I appreciate everyone who loves this video, loves all my other videos, my TikTok, Instagram. You know, if you want more videos, if you have any ideas of videos I should make, let me know and I'll make it happen. And like always, keep on spinning that saber. You can do it. So, if you haven't watched my previous video, I recommend flies. That's what we call it in Star Wars, because it was that one scene from, you know, Revenge of the Sith where Obi-ANI, where Obi-Wan. That's what we call it in Star Wars, because that was it. Slow down, Shay. Get lost. So many flies. And like always, keep on spinning that saber. Yeah, that's what we call it in Star Wars, because keep practicing. Bro. Flies, man. These flies are gonna get these flies are getting on my nerves. You know, that's what we call it in Star Wars from the episode of I'm surrounded by flies. I don't know why. This is getting very hard to film.